So welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back, everyone. This is video number 8. This is a video number 8 in the business continuity. This is video number 8 in business continuity. And we will go directly now to a new topic. It is the business impact analysis. We are here talking about the business impact analysis, and this is a new unit. Business impact analysis is the backbone, like you see here, of the continuity planning process. Business impact analysis establish the goals to be achieved to enable an organization to continue or resume operation following a disaster. So also, like business continuity, the core of the business continuity is the business impact analysis. So without a business impact analysis, there is no business continuity. Okay. It is a tool that assists in identifying, understanding, and prioritizing the critical business functions of each business unit and the related time frame in which each must be restored to avoid the organization reaching its thresholds of operational pain when disasters strikes. So this is regarding the business continuity and the BIA. We will call it the BIA, the business impact analysis. The primary goal of business impact analysis, or BIA, is to separate critical time business functions. Also, it needs recovery time objectives. We need also to know about the business impact analysis, the following. This is the approach, the business impact analysis as a step-by-step process. So what are the steps of the business impact analysis? What are the steps of the business impact analysis? The first step is establish a criteria for identifying time critical functions. This becomes the yardstick against which all business functions are measured to determine the level of critically for each. Means each one of them, how far it is very important and how far it affects. Decide on the data gathering process to be used and develop the necessary instruments, use the method that workers best for your organization, such as an electronic survey, a paper survey, a workshop interview, or a combination of two or more of these. Step 3, provide orientation for those involved from whom you will be requesting information. Let people know the reason you are requesting the information and how it will be used. This helps you overcome the challenges of making sure that the information collected is complete and accurate. Step 4, conduct the data gathering process. Expect that it will be necessary to follow up with those who are less timely in their response. Fifth step, review survey response and, as necessary, conduct follow-up interview, validate the information received, correct inaccuracies, like something is not right, clarify inconsistencies, and eliminate the information gap. 6, integrate the data gathered from all business units into a single critically ordered list of functions. Establish the probable sequence in which each critical function must be restored for most critical to least critical, for most time critical to least time critical. Cross-check results for all as yet unidentified internal and external interdependencies and interfaces, and adjust the critical sequences as necessary. A task not seen as time critical by the business unit that performs it may have greater critically based on how it is utilized by other business units. Identify the resources needed for each time critical function. This includes standards and non-standards equipments, office supplies, hardware, and software. Based on critically determine the maximum allowable downtime for each function, establish the sequences in which each critical function must be restored. Set or step 10, set the RTO and RPO. The RTO establish a goal for the period of time within which each time critical functions will operate following a disruption, while the RPO identifies the points, time to which the system and data must be restored after the unplanned outage. 11, report BIA results to executive managers for review, and as necessary, revise the results based on management inputs. Expect that the adjustment will be requested some findings, such as priority order of restoration of some functions based on upper management's knowledge and broader perspective of the organization and its current future operation. Deciding where in the organization to start can be a challenge. In a best practice approach, a BIA is conducted from the top down, starting at the headquarters or corporate levels, then moving to the division of location levels, and then to the individual business units in the division of or location. Define time critical function. You can use the word time critical function, or you can use the word time sensitive. Both are okay. First, put yourself in the shoes of business unit managers who are asked to assist in identifying the critical functions performed by their departments. Second, if a function or task is identified as not being essential, it is responsible to question whether it is needed at all and why people are being paid to carry out these non-essential tasks. Here are how to calculate the cost of disaster related to interruption, any interruption in the organization. It shows how this works. It shows how this works. So as example, in the first time, employee productivity. Calculating the cost of employee productivity, number of employees affected times hours of downtime, times fully burdened hourly rate, hourly wages plus all benefits, taxes, etc. So this will give you, calculate the costs of the employee productivity when there is interruption, when there is interruption. The revenues, how to calculate the revenues? These are to translate it into numbers, direct loss of revenues, the billing losses, the lost future revenues, the lost future revenues, and investment losses. So those are regarding the revenues. Financial performance, like the cash flow, lost discounts on accountable payables, credit rating. Related expenses, like lost or dated inventory, marketing costs, space or equipment rental, extra shipping costs, travel expenses, overtime costs, and chargeback for late deliveries. Those are also points regarding the related expenses. So also one of the intangible, like the reputation. Reputation is intangible because you cannot touch it. So we have here the brand image, how far the name had been affected with the disaster or with the risk, customer confidence, suppliers, bank and other financial institutions, stockholders, how all these are affected by the risk. Legal and regulatory, like fines, penalties, legal fees, those are regarding the regulatory. Lost customers, like those losses which we lose from the customers and they turn to another clients or they turn to another suppliers or sellers. How many customers we lost? This is also another point of the hazard in customers lost. Once the criteria have been developed and management has agreed that they are correct, the critical criteria become the yardstick against which every function with the organization is measured. Okay. To identify and prioritize the critical elements of supply chain. For supply management operations, a BIA includes a review of manufacturing, transportation, disruption, service supporting technology, warehouses, procurement, service centers, and any other business units that are directly involved in their internal supply chain. One thing more we have to say here, that an uncomplicated way to measure the level of criticality of supply chain business units is to develop series of statements that can be responded to with yes or no. For example, function involves direct contact with customers. The function involves direct contact with suppliers. Loss of functions which directly results in loss of revenues and profits. Loss of functions would result in loss of customers. Loss of functions would result in increased operating costs. Loss of functions can result in accounts receivable delays. All these are examples. Result in significant liability exposure or legal ramifications. Prevent the company from meeting the regulatory requirements. Lead to imposition of fines or other penalties for a failure, due to a failure, and result of financial penalties for late payments. The supply chain map, of course, it's always helpful. Here we have a very important thing to say. When conducting a BIA for the supply chain, it is necessary to recognize both internal and external components and the interdependency. Interdependency means, as example, that the branches and subdivisions of the supply chain, they are all working together and they are interdependence. The word interdependence means that they all depend on each other. Like the logistic system depend on the warehousing, and warehousing depend on the logistic system, and so on. So when we do our own impact analysis, business impact analysis, we put in our concern the relationship between each of these departments and the other departments as well. Those are some main important points regarding how to work for the to do our business continuity plan and to do the analysis of business continuity. Shall leave you for the moment. Thank you so much and see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.